Hello guys and welcome back to Football Manager 2023 with me KJM on my epic European journeyman save where we are aiming to win the top tier division in every European nation in the game. We've reached 60 years old, we are now in our 60s. As a manager, 2045 I'll be 60 years old. That's scary, isn't it? Manager of Wisla Krakow, we're doing very, very well as a team. We've had an excellent start to the season. We'll have a run over it. There's been a couple of signings as well since you were last here. First of all, I want to have a quick look over Podbrezova. They've not had the best of starts to the new season without us. And they currently find themselves down in 10th place in the first division in Slovakia. 10 points from 11 games. They've only won 2 games this season. They are not having a good season. In terms of Europe, though, they did make the Europa League proper, which is good for them. That will see some money come into the club, 1.45 million. Unfortunately, though, they're not doing great. We have pinched one of their players, if we're being honest. I've tried to pinch Milton as well, because he's a very, very capable centre-half. Unfortunately, he doesn't want to leave, and his value has absolutely skyrocketed at Podbrezova. So disappointing to see Podbrezova not doing so well under Martin Blaško, the 27% win ratio. Hopefully they pick up later on in the season. In terms of how we're doing, though, obviously you were here at the start of the season, the game against Slask, the 1-0 win there. We did complete that rout over HB really in the Europa Conference League qualifying with a 1-0 win, 6-0 on aggregate. In the league, though, we then took on Piast away from home. Aluminij Quebec getting the only goal of the game in the 71st minute. A close game in terms of XG, and in terms of our shots on target, we weren't great. Couple of poor performances as well. The team was still pretty much getting used to me at that stage and the way that I like to play. You may notice we took on Aluminij, our former club Aluminij, in the next round of qualifying. 3-2 loss at home, unfortunately. Kwiatkowski and Lukzak with the goals for us. Our former signing Aldair Chelis scored 3 for Aluminij. He is now 31 years old. Just coincidentally, we were 2-0 up in that game and we lost. I've also inquired about Chelis, and he doesn't want to come either. But he's doing quite well for Aluminij there. And they're doing quite well in terms of, Maribor have gone back to winning everything. But they've had a couple of third places in their one season. They didn't even make the Olympia actually won it after we. So Maribor had 2 seasons off from winning the league. So Olympia have put together a fairly decent squad there as well in Slovenia. League-wise, though, it was a Pogon. Unfortunately, we did lose this one. Aluminij Quebec with a goal for us. Higor went off injured. Corgi was sent off in the 23rd minute for a vicious tackle. And that didn't help the situation. Marcel Michalski and Mariusz Pietrazak. I don't know. Polish is not my thing. XG-wise, though, we were the better team, believe it or not. We arguably should have won the game despite having only 10 men. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite do it, although we didn't see any of the ball. I played without a striker for most of the game. And obviously we didn't have that focal point up front, unfortunately. We overturned that 3-2 defeat to Aluminij, though, in Aluminij. A 4-1 win in this one. Corgi with 2. And Kwiatkowski with 2 as well. Roczek, another one of our former signings, did grab 1 for Aluminij, but comfortably through in Europe there. It was then a 2-2 draw against GKS Katowice. Unfortunately, dropped points again. Thomas Paul and Alexander Kovac with the goal. Kudlnak and Radzinski with the goals for Katowice. Fairly even game again. Draw's probably a fair result, to be honest. We are sort of rotating who. Trying to find our best first team. If we're being entirely honest. Europa League-wise, though, Conference League, sorry, I beg your pardon, it was RB Leipzig next, and I was fully expecting to this to be the end of our journey in Europe, especially if we have a look at just how well Leipzig can play compared to us. But their goalkeeper had an absolute shocker. A couple of errors for our goals. Kovac, Kozarin, and Felter and Corgi with the goals. That was after RB Leipzig went 1-0 up through Daniel Bjork Sultan. We played really well, and we defended well, and that's been something of a good thing for us this season in the league as well. We are currently have the second best defence in the league. We did back up that 4-1 win against Leipzig with a 4-1 win against Radomiak. Felter, Thomas Paul with 2 in this one, and Fran Rokovinski, the centre-half, picking up 1 before we conceded 1 late on. Janusz Gazinski with the goal there for Radomiak. Again, we were the much better team. We are playing really, really well as a team. Kovac picking up the man of the match in that one. Obviously, you're going to notice a couple of new names in there as well when we're looking through these. We will go over those in just a moment. The away leg to Leipzig, 1-1 in this one. Pietrzyk put us 1-0 up after 7 minutes. Yannick Leitz grabbed 1 in the 33rd minute for Leipzig, but it was a comfortable 5-2 victory on aggregate over Leipzig. Again, they did absolutely batter us again. But we made it through, and you can't really ask for much more than that. It's financially, it's good for the club as well. Unfortunately, we did pick up a draw in the next game against Sandekia, a 0-0, boring 0-0. Again, XG-wise, we had our chances. Poor performances as well up front for us. But we didn't concede. Unfortunately, we didn't score. Next up was Zaglibi. I'm going to say Zaglibi. 2-0 win this one. Piatek and Rajkovic. Now, you may remember Rajkovic. He was one of my players at Podbrezova. We've brought him in. Could be why Podbrezova may be struggling a little bit. But we've paid £950,000 for him. He was he was an okay player for us when we bought him at Podbrezova. He started off really, really well for us here at Wisla. So I'm pleased to have Rajkovic on board. Again, this is another game where we did absolutely batter the opposition. I don't know what happened with Luksak in this game. He did miss a penalty, which obviously is contributing to that bad rating, but he was absolutely appalling, to be fair, and lucky to keep a clean sheet with him in the centre of defence. But we did, and that's really, really good. Unfortunately, we did back that up with a draw again against Wisla Plock. We were 2-0 up as well. Corgi put us 2-0 up inside the first 14 minutes. Lucas Stipper pulled 2 back for Wisla Plock. Highly disappointing. Wisla Plock currently sit bottom of the league. Rock bottom with 1 point, and it was against us. It was against us. The next game, though, was much, much better against Cracovia. Now, Cracovia are our fierce rival in the city of Cracovia. They were also sat top of the league when we did this to them. We battered them. Kwiatkowski, Luksak, and Krebeck with the goals in this one. Luksak making up for his penalty miss in the previous game, scoring in this one. We absolutely dominated the game. Really, really dominated the game, and like I say, Cracovia were sat top of the league when this game happened. We then had our first Europa Conference League phase game against Shakhtar Soligorsk. The Belarusian side left it really, really late, 93rd minute, but Diego Corgi did bag the goal. Again, it's another game where we absolutely battered the opposition, and we've played really, really well, other than Kwiatkowski for some reason, but fantastic result for us. Keeps the money coming in. And then most recently in the table, it has been Zaglibi Sosnowiec, a nice 1-0 win in this one. Corgi again with the goal in the 14th minute. Another dominant performance, and we've played really, really well. You may notice that Loic Felter is another new name on there. Like I say, we'll go over them now. Can't remember who the last one you saw is, who came in, so if I do repeat one, guys, I apologise. We'll go by date. I think it might have been Ishmael Perrin as the last one in, but we've brought Loic Felter in. Initially brought him in as a left back. You might have seen Loic, by the way. Initially brought him as a left back who can't cross. We've actually been deploying him as a segundo volante, and he's done that really, really well there. He's pretty good, apart from he can't shoot, but he has chipped in with 2 goals so far this season, 1 in Europe, 1 in the league. He's played really, really well, and he's doing quite well in the centre of that midfield. Raphael Ulrich has been brought in from Osnabrück, a goalkeeper, very, very good for a 25-year-old German. Didn't cost us a lot from Osnabrück, £83,000, so pretty pleased with that. Little bit of trivia for you here. When I was growing up, I lived in Osnabrück. I lived there for a couple of years. My dad was in the army, and we were posted in Germany, which is why I've lived in Osnabrück. And then, like I say, Rajkovic has come in for £950,000, which is a club record transfer, by the way. And he's done quite well since he's come in as well in the Polish top division. There's been a lot more outs as well. You can see we've recouped a lot of that. But financially, the club are in a very good position. 7.7 million in the bank. We are losing a bit of money, but that's probably because I'm spending that much on wages. I've massively increased the wage expenditure here at the club. So how the league table is looking then? Obviously, when I'm looking through the schedule, you can see up here where it says we are. But we'll have a look. We're currently sat in 3rd place. Now, Legia have had a really, really poor start to the season. by their standards. They've picked up 1 win in the last 5, the last 3 of them being draws. So we're doing quite well. It was really pleasing to beat Cracovia because they were starting to run away with it a little bit, but we've managed to pull it back. We're just 2 points off the top. So Poland is going pretty well. We have looked in on a good core squad and a team who finished in 3rd place last season. We've got the 2nd best goals scored, the 2nd best defence in the league. So we are looking really, really good, and hopefully we can tick Poland off at the first time of asking. And because of that, I have actually already got the next division loaded. I've clicked the wrong one. What did I clicked add new manager. Add remove leagues. I've already got the next division loading, which is Hungary. So looking forward to getting to Hungary as soon as possible. Just quickly to go through as well, because I do have the editor loaded in this game. In-game editor used is no, so just wanting to keep showing you that. So yeah, we're doing really well, and today we are taking on the team just below us in Gornik Zabrze. We'll just call them Gornik. They are currently sat in 4th place in the table, just behind us. I was going to do Legia, but the Legia game with Europe has been moved a little bit further on. So I thought Gornik was a good one. Like I say, just behind us in the league. If they beat us, they can go above us. But we're hoping to keep the pressure on. So the lineup that we're going to go for today is Ulrich in goal. It's then going to be Luksak, Krabek, Vinsky and Kenderes as the back 4. Luksak has found himself playing more at right back than he has anywhere else. Daniel Lazar, who I did bring in as the right back, has spent most of the time on the treatment table. He's very, very injury prone, which doesn't show up in his cons, but it could be something to do with his age. So he's more of a bit part player now. The midfield 3 is going to be Piatek. Now, Piatek was injured when we first got here, but he's very, very good player. Some great attributes for that Segundo Volante. Kozarin is going to start today. Now, he's not the starting defensive midfielder. That would be, when I find him, Wojciech. But Wojciech is he's very tired. He's played every game for us so far, and my assistant is constantly telling me that he needs a rest, and he is tired, so he's going to rest for this game. And this is then going to be Arpad Vey coming in as the other Segundo Volante for today's game. Not really seeing a lot of football underneath me, but I'm deciding to give him a run out. The 2 inside forwards is going to be Kovac. Done very, very well. Again, some decent ratings there. It's then going to be Kwiatkowski, the club captain, who again has played very, very well. And then up front, it's going to be Corgi. Corgi is starting up front. He had a slow start to life in the league. As you can see, he's only had 3 goals, 7 appearances, but he's done very, very well in Europe for us. So that's the game. That's the lineup. We're taking on Gornik, the team, like I say, who can go above us today if they do beat us. Hopefully we can do the business, though, and continue our little stride at the top of the table. We've lost 1 game all season, which is absolutely fantastic. Hopefully we can keep that going and, like I say, knock Poland off as soon as we can. And we do get our first highlight, and it is for Gornik. It's a corner from the right hand side, which is headed just wide of the post from Mitreski, I believe it said. Ulrich looked like he had it covered. A little bit of a warning sign there from set pieces from Gornik, and they are on the ball again. We're approaching 20 minutes in. It's a sweeping diagonal ball, but it's easy for Kenderes to cut out. Finds Vinsky. Kenderes forward towards Veg into Kovac. Corgi, what's he got ahead of him? Strides forward. He has a go himself, does Diego Corgi. It's a poor effort, though. Maybe should have looked to find a teammate, and we could have worked the ball a little bit better into the box there. I'm not going to discourage them from having efforts from range. Just hit the target a bit more, lads. And that's half time, guys. Only those 2 highlights to speak of. We are on top, as you can see. We're massively on top. In fact, we should really be doing a little bit better here and get ourselves ahead. Decent first half, though. Hopefully we can go out and get the winner in the second half. The 2 teams above us aren't actually playing, so we could actually go top of the table today if we do win this one. Corgi's not having the best of games, though, and with 55 minutes on the clock, we're going to bring him off. We're going to bring Higor on. Anybody else not playing particularly great? Possibly Dominic Piatek, so we'll get Rajkovic on. Double substitution. Just over half an hour remaining for the chance for us to go to the top of the table. That would be great, wouldn't it? And here we go. We get our next highlight, and it is cut out by Krabek, looking for Higor. Higor wins the header. Unfortunately, it's fallen to the feet of the Gornik player. A little bit of a mix-up in defence there between the goalkeeper and one of the defenders, and Gornik still coming forward with the ball. The ball's back to Stankovic, but it's really good tackle by Rajkovic. Now Higor comes away with the ball. Unfortunately, he's ran off it by Baranowski. ball forward. We should win this. Korosyn does. Vey to bring it down. Inside to Rajkovic. Rajkovic with the ball out wide to the right towards Kwiatkowski. Can he come inside? He can. It's Rajkovic again. Luksak on the right-hand side towards the penalty area. And the byline gets it across. Kwiatkowski. Oh, it's good save by the goalkeeper. Good save by the goalkeeper there. Threw himself at the feet of Kwiatkowski. And now Gornik on the counter-attack. Good tackle, though, by Quebec. That was it. That was great highlight, that one. End-to-end stuff. We're into the final 20 minutes. We're going to have a shout at them. Demand some more of them. We need a goal in this one. Luksak looking to provide that now from the right-hand side. Takes it past his man. Though he's come back instead. He's well tackled, but Luksak will pick up the second ball. Feeds the ball back to Quebec. Vinsky. Vey over the top towards Kwiatkowski. This is the opportunity. 1-on-1 with the keeper. Great finish by Kwiatkowski. It looks like we're going to get a VAR decision here. It's potential for it to be offside. Let's not celebrate too early. He took it really well, though, the finish. It's been awarded. Great goal there by Kwiatkowski, the club captain. That's his 7th goal of the season. Great ball forward as well by Vey. Fantastic ball. Nobody looked offside to me there, but he's took it well. He's finished it well. Let's have a look and see what the VAR thinks is in offside. Because I didn't see anything. Really? We needed VAR for that, did we? SI really need to sort out the VAR stuff. It's far too constant. You get them for every decision in the game. Johansson finds Dalara to Yak. Ziegler looking to feed it forward. It's well cut out, though, by Quebec. Heads it back to Ulrich. With 5 minutes for us to hold on here. Ulrich rolls it out to Vinsky. Kenderes. Vinsky again. Kenderes into Vey. Kenderes has seen a lot of the ball. Giving it away, though, to Baranowski. Kovac went flying in with the challenge there. Vey's flying in with the challenge. We have eventually won the ball back, though. Rajkovic, can he get us going again up the other end? He can. He feeds Kwiatkowski. Brings it down well. Looking to take it past his man with his pace. Does. Cuts back. Little trick. No, finds Luksak instead. Kwiatkowski again inside the area. He pulls it across for Higor. It's a poor effort there by Higor. Poor effort. Just put your foot through it, man. You're 6 yards out from goal. Just put your foot through it. We are holding on to this, though, and this is going to take us to the top of the table. Of course, Pogoń and Cracovia do have a game in hand. But yeah, we do. We hold on. Fantastic win. Thoroughly deserved as well, by the way. We've restricted Gornik to just the one shot on target. A great performance and a fantastic win. You don't have to win by miles. A win's a win. I've always said that. Legia did win as well, though. I've noticed they're not even on there, but they've not won. No, they haven't played. I'm looking at Lechia, possibly. I don't know. I could have sworn when the game was going on, I saw Legia were winning and they'd moved up the table. But great win, great dominant performance again by Wisla. We're playing really, really well. And we currently find ourselves sat at the top of the table. So we're going to come back again a third of the way through the season. Look, we're taking on one of our old rivals there, Olympia, in the Conference League. Again, we're going to come back 2/3 of the way through the season. Got a derby coming up there against Cracovia. We've also got Legia coming up here. So depending on how many games in that is, I think Legia is probably going to be a little bit too late in the season. Cracovia may be a bit too late as well. We'll see who we come up against. Could be Pogoń, you know. But guys, thank you very much for being here. Been an absolute pleasure as always. I'll just leave you with the league table so you can have a look over it. Yeah, guys, thank you for being here. Please remember to hit that thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button. It does help me out. Like I always say, it does help me out massively, guys. I'm trying to grow this channel as much as I can. And I do appreciate all of your support so far. I'd like it to continue going forward, please, guys. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next episode. So cheers.